Hi, everybody. Welcome to episode 67
67, geez.
Me, Lou.
of A Fern Between Us. Today we have two of the four owners.
Of Vino Winery, I'm Jesse.
I'm Michelle, and we have a special guest, Ray, who is our partner down at Ahmyo Gallery and Wine Garden. So they are located on Canyon Road. We are super excited to have you with us, Ray, and so excited to partner with you. Your space is just gorgeous, and we are thrilled to be able to have our wines there and have some space that we can send people in Santa Fe too. That's such an important location. Ray, would you like to maybe tell us a little bit about your story and Annette's and how you came to create this incredible gallery space on Canyon Road?
Well, Annette and I always wanted to. First, we found a space and we fell in love with it. So we had a gallery up front. And we wanted to figure out what to do with the back, and we met you guys in Dixon, and we loved your space and what you were doing, and loved the Vivac wine. So we decided to open up the back area to complement our gallery, and it was such a beautiful space back there. We have a third of an acre that is just, it's very surprising for Canyon Road, because you think it's all basically booked up, but it's not. There's land in the back, and we kind of did pathways and trees and built a rock house and created a beautiful space back there to sit and enjoy some Vivac wine.
It's amazing. I can't
our
believe
concept was basically to allow people to, Canyon Road's a little over a mile, so they can walk about 3/4 of the way up and go find a little niche place, which is typical Santa Fe, that you can sit and relax, have a glass of wine, sit by a fireplace, and just relax for a little bit.
It's really an oasis.
it really is. I can't believe what you guys have been able to do there, and making a in-town space feel so spacious, and you really feel like you get away from the city, would get away from, like, I don't know, for some, it just feels like you're out in the middle of nowhere, even though it's a big space for where it is, but it's also not that big, and you guys have been able to make it. Yeah, utilized it really well. The gardens are gorgeous. It's inspirational. I want to do more. I want to have gardens at my place like you have at your place. So you guys opened this summer.
Yeah,
Sorry, go ahead.
We enjoy setting up spaces and making them feel, just making people feel at home. Sit, relax, enjoy a glass of wine, and enjoy the space.
Well, you guys are good at it. You opened up this summer to almost instant success, it seems like. I mean, the wine orders alone, we're our jaws are on the floor sometimes at how much you guys are running through just on your first handful of months being open. So that's great. I'm sure you slowed down now in the winter a little bit, but you're still moving some product. And
Well, and actually our next question is about you starting up in a very difficult time. I mean, you got this whole thing going during the pandemic. What was that like?
Yeah. Well, we created this project during COVID because nobody was doing anything, and we had this back area that we didn't have anything going back there, so we decided that let's work on it for a year and see what we can come up with architecturally and botanically, and see what we can create in the back. Our biggest challenge has been, we just started advertising, so just getting people back there. It's amazing. Once they go back there and they look at it, there are our advocates, and they'll come out and tell other people to come look and go back there. It's worth it. And we started music, and people love it. They sit there for hours and just listen to the music and drink wine and just have a good time.
I love it. Well, and I mean, how smart to create this amazing outdoor space, especially, I mean, nobody really knew how important that was going to be as the pandemic hit. And having created that is sensational. I love it. Mm-hmm. So you said that you guys had come up and liked what we were doing. Is that how you found us, or how did you find us?
Right, I think you guys contacted us first, right? I don't remember how it all went down.
Yeah, we did. We were, things just kind of flow, and we were looking for somebody to go in that back area, and we saw your vineyards in Dixon, and we loved them, and sat there, drank some wine, and thought, this would really be neat on Canyon Road. It's something that they don't have kind of in the middle of Canyon Road, to where they have the fancy restaurants, but nothing you can just like sit casually, have a piece of cake or a sandwich. We've got some gourmet European items, and drink a glass of wine and listen to some music. Maybe you have a reservation for a nice dinner at some place at 5:30. You come there at 4 and you sit for an hour and a half and have a bottle of wine. And it's really hit it off with the locals, which we love, because without their support, it's not going to be successful.
Oh man! Boy,
so if we can get the locals to love it, everybody else is just going to fall in place.
Yes, for sure. And so you're also an incredible gallery. How do you select artists that you show there?
Well, my wife is an incredible artist. She does painting and silversmithing, and she pretty much runs the gallery and probably the wine bar too. I'm more the building aspects of it, and she does a tremendous job on keeping that all organized, and everybody flowing, and new people coming in and new products coming in, and keeping it fresh and vibrant.
I love it. And so you mentioned the music, and that's going to continue through the winter and other events. I know you guys have talked about trying to maybe do some bigger wine classes or something of that sort. Do you guys have an idea of how to entice all of us that are sitting at home and want to be out and we get to in your beautiful outdoor space? What's the plan?
We plan to have consistent music over the summer once it starts getting warmer. We haven't had music. We had music through December outside, but once it starts getting too cold or too dark, we pretty much shut that down for the winter. We do have the warm fireplace inside. We can seat probably 30 people inside, and then we have a rock house in the back that seats another 20 people.
Wow.
So there's plenty of room. 50 people drinking wine. There's plenty of room. Indoor space, but then it expands. The space almost doubles in the summertime. And we just plan to have consistent music. We already have several weddings planned.
Wow! How fun! I didn't realize.
Met with the first person last week in terms of the wedding. There's a gazebo in the back, and they're gonna. They want me to put some more hardscape down, which I will do for them, and then the gazebo is going to be all with flowers, and her vision was just beautiful, and that helps everybody. It sells more wine. It provides work for caterers and local decorators. It brings a lot of business into Santa Fe, and that was one of the things we always wanted to do, was provide. We started on that. Was our original concept was brought up by saying that a couple came back and said that they had gotten their first kiss in the rock house.
Oh.
So and they were they could come back, if it goes beyond that and they eventually tie the knot, if they could come back and have their wedding there. And we said, well, yeah, sure. But it was funny the way that, idea came into our brains on getting weddings out there. So.
I love it. It is so romantic. And you're so right. Of course, that's a perfect spot.
Right? Exactly. For a small, not if you're going to have hundreds
of
people.
The people are so excited when they walk back there. They're just like, oh my, it's like a hidden treasure. Nobody knows it's back there. And then when they go back there, it's just like, oh my gosh, all the locals go, I've lived here for 15 years. Don't tell me you've been here for 15 years. And it's like, no, we just opened. So you're okay. But they're all amazed and they all come back. And, hey, Ray, hey, Annette, how you guys doing?
Oh, I love it.
It's just amazing.
So, Ray, what brought you guys to New Mexico in the first place?
Just love the pace. Love the pace, and it's beautiful here. It's you have the mountains, you have skiing, hiking, outdoors. There's so much in Santa Fe that is cultural. There's so many restaurants that you're living in a small town, but you're never bored.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that is such a good synopsis of this area. I love it. Well, anybody watching, anybody that's coming to visit, anybody that's just curious about the space so that you can plan your next visit to New Mexico, definitely check them out. And they are open daily from 11 to 7. Those are still your winter hours, or do you have any edits?
11 is in the winter hours. I think we're closed. I think it's 12 to 5:30, which is dark.
Yeah,
that totally makes sense. So 12 to 5:30.
Yeah,
it's a wonderful space. Definitely come and enjoy how beautiful Santa Fe truly is by sitting in their wine garden.
Right, it helps us out. It helps Ray and Annette out. We're all in favor. Let's do this.
Well, thank you so much, Ray. We really thoroughly appreciate you coming on the show, and we can't wait to
no problem.
Raise a glass with you in person.
That'll be fun. We're looking forward to that.
All right. Thanks
awesome,
so
Ray.
much.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Bye-bye.
All right. So now it's on to the drinking portion of the show.
Drinking portion.
Hopefully I'm not making too much noise as I put this on.
I was drinking already. Is that okay?
No.
Oh.
I know.
Darn it. Always messing it up.
Oh, wait. You took the chair away. You were just taking the box and the computer away. I don't know what's happening on the show if I don't have my cue cards.
Right? It's so complex.
Oh, no. What is happening? Well, that's too close.
Too close. There we go. Sorry, guys. Anyway.
And the production value goes up.
Once again.
Uh-huh. And then we almost had our child.
Stop passing in front. What are you doing? Oh, man. Fired.
I'm sorry.
Fired.
I'm sorry.
Ay.
I know.
So
really? We'll be discussing her pay wage.
Yeah.
So we had to cancel last month. Because,
sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are looking forward to us tasting the Wine Club wines with you, and we didn't get to that. So let's see. Those were Vino and Cab last week or last month.
Vino and Cabernet, yeah.
Yeah, and so we're not tasting those today. But we are tasting this month's Wine Club wines. And so those of you that are not part of the Wine Club...
This month is in December's.
Yes. Yeah.
The one we just sent out, 2 weeks ago.
Yes. So most of you have gotten those and can taste with us.
In theory.
Yeah. I know.
Sorry about the shipping issues, by the way. We're going through a transition and everything's all up in the air, but we're ironing out the details. Mm-hmm. Those of you that are still with us, you know it. Those of you that aren't, we've called you and told you, but at the same time, it's we changed companies still through UPS, but our the people doing our paperwork are different. But it meant we had to do an upgrade to all kinds of paper.
Oh my God, a giant mess.
Total mess, but oh well.
And so anyway, those of you that are not in the wine club, these are wines that are available for everybody at Ahmyo or at our tasting room, obviously. But
Barbera only for so long, though. Barbera
it's almost on its way out.
Almost
but
sold out.
I just didn't want people that aren't part of the wine club to think that these are just going out.
No. Yeah.
You know,
it's available.
There's
for
a little
everyone.
confusion on that, and so
it's available for everybody.
Yeah, this is not a wine club only show. We're inclusive. Mm-hmm. So we had to cancel last time because you were here all by yourself, manning all of the jobs that the four of us usually do.
Right? Chris and Lily were out of town. Michelle was out of town. That's
Chris
what she
and Lily
means all
were on
by
a
myself.
boat.
They're on a boat.
They were enjoying the last of their beautiful vacation that sounded absolutely amazing. And it sounds like they're becoming quite the sailors, which I love. So we'll try to get them on the show here soon so that they can talk about their sailing prowess. And I happened to be in Texas at yet another competition and had an event that night, so I couldn't stream in like our last one when I was in
wherever it was.
Atlantic City?
Maybe. Were you? I don't remember.
I don't know where I've been or where I am.
I know where you've been. I just don't remember the dates.
But so Jesse did an amazing job holding down the fort. Being a
But
single
not an
parent.
amazing job keeping up with the show.
Yeah. So anyway, so we're tasting the Sangiovese first, and tell us a little bit about your amazing winemaking skills because this is such a beautiful wine.
Sangiovese is always one of my very favorites that we make. It's our most economically priced wine, but that does not mean it's the least quality. Like I often reach for a bottle of Sangio just because it's one of the ones I really like.
Gold medal at international wine competitions.
Exactly.
It is such a good wine, and of course the theory is that those that are maybe a little reticent to try a New Mexico wine, we have a lot of newbies. When they come to see us or find us or are visiting the state. And if they can have a great experience at that entry level, that is a wonderful way to then start exploring some of the other wines that we have. So that's part of why we have this at such an amazing price, which is $16.
We could not afford to make all of our wines this inexpensively. We don't lose money on it, but it's if they were all that price, we would not earn a living. But we try to make it as available as possible. We try to keep our prices as reasonable as possible. We're not an exclusive winery, we're an inclusive winery.
I like it.
We want
Very
everybody.
nicely said.
We want everyone to love wine, and therefore we want to make it accessible.
So then now you poured too much.
No, I didn't.
Well, how are you going to move on to the Barbera?
Well, I just had a glass of Barbera, so I think I remember.
Oh, see what happens when we skip a month? He doesn't know how to play this right. Which, by the way, so that you can maybe drink through some of that, just to alert you, some of the things going on around here, we are going to go back to once a week. There were enough of you guys that messaged and said, we want you back on every Thursday. So we're going to try that out. Things are a little nuts with the pandemic and things always changing and our schedules are all over the place. So some of it might be pre-recorded, but absolutely still off the cuff. As you can see, all kinds of messes. We're just going to upload it as is. So if we have to do that because of scheduling conflicts, you will get it on Thursday evening at 5 o'clock. But sometimes, occasionally, it will be pre-recorded. So just trying to, answer all of your questions and also make all of you happy. I love that you guys missed us. I think that's really wonderful. So anybody that took the survey, thank you so much. That was really good information. And one of the things was it can be pre-recorded, but they just didn't want us to be scripted.
Oh yeah, no, we'll never be scripted.
Yeah.
We're not good. Maybe Michelle can act, but like I definitely can't.
Maybe.
She would. Her major was in theater, so I assume she probably still can. Maybe a little rusty here and there, but but I would never have claimed to be a decent actor. So
Well, I have been.
so I think scripting is not going to work for us.
I've been the star of 4 pilot shows that all never took off. So I guess maybe I have some issues.
But what about that fabulous movie that you made?
Oh! I had 2 words in the movie. And
But she got her SAG card from it.
But also, I found out that day, right before I was going on, that it was supposed to be in a Russian accent, and I don't do accents, so.
And you didn't find out the day before you got there. You found out the day you got there.
I said before the scene.
No, yeah.
Yeah. But
Also, if you look up Michelle Padberg IMDb page, she is most famously known for one role, and that's the role.
Yeah.
We're not mentioning it, I guess, by name.
No, I think we should.
But we're talking crap about it a little bit.
Well, my part. I mean, it's the people. Everybody else worked really hard. We'll put it in the comment section.
There we go.
I did. Thank you, honey. I worked really hard. She was on set. Denali actually came and sat through hours and hours. Yeah.
Poor thing.
To see what a big movie set was like. Anyway, so you're not any closer to Barbera. Mm-mm. Okay, here, let me pour this into your glass, and then I can pour.
You haven't done Barbera yet. That's why you're saying.
No. Well, I want to be more astute. So the Sangiovese, I think it not only is one of the best wines that you've made, but I also just love that grape. Mm-hmm. And so from Italy, you have all these different areas that use the Sangiovese grape, but call it something else, right? Mm-hmm. So what is your favorite of Italy?
My favorite grape in all of Italy?
No, your favorite region using Sangiovese of Italy.
I mean, all right, well, Brunello's amazing, of course, and that's going to be most people's like, oh my God. But to me, that's such a specialized, a very specialized, it doesn't taste like Sangiovese specifically to me. It's so specialized in the 3 varietals, the 3 clones that they use.
It's all Sangiovese, but different clones.
Different clones of Sangiovese. And to me, it's just a gorgeous wine, but it's not necessarily stereotypical of what you find Sangiovese to taste like.
Oh, that's very true.
But so then I have to go to Chianti, all over Chianti. Chianti Classico is just amazing. Riserva, it's just amazing. But I like all price ranges. I like,
they really show so differently. That's one where you can really see a range of expression due to price range, which I try to avoid steering people towards, if you pay more, you're going to get a better wine. And it's not that, but it's going to be aged. It's going to be a more condensed version.
In Europe, they have laws, really stringent laws. Italy is not as strict as France, but it's really strict. And so they tell you if you're a Chianti Classico, what you can, how the date, the amount of time in oak that you can use, not less, not more than this amount of time. They also tell you how much you can charge. They also tell you what other potential blender grapes you can have in there and at what quantities. So, and then it's more and more narrowly specific as you get higher and higher priced. It's a more stringent rules. So their price range or their different levels of Riserva.
That's a great point.
And price ranges, they actually do mean something, and they actually do taste different. And a Riserva from one winery versus a Riserva from another will be closer in profile than the Riserva and the Classico from one winery. Same winemaker, same grapes, just a different that tastes more different than two different winemakers, which is
I'm glad you're pointing that out.
totally different than what we do here in the States. Here in the States, it's free reign. You can do whatever you want, basically. 75%, you can call it Sangiovese, and you can charge whatever you want for it, and oak or no oak, so it's all over the map.
Yeah, absolutely. Just before we move on to the Barbera, which you can taste out of my glass, the Vino Nobile de Monteforciano is my personal favorite expression of Sangiovese. I love how clear and a little more rustic the fruit comes across. I love that.
Yeah.
It doesn't have the polish of a Brunello, which I also love. I mean, come on. I love Brunello. So, but it just has such a bright, clear expression of the fruit itself.
Yeah.
Oh, yum, yum, yum. Mm-hmm. And, of course, Vivac. I mean, it's not in Italy, but this is obviously my favorite. All right, moving on to Barbera. Moving on to the Barbera, which is another Italian grape grown in the Piedmont region. And tell us a little bit about your winemaking story with this.
No, I got it.
Just to remind yourself.
Oh, yeah. She loves it. Can you tell? No, Barbera for me, it's a tough nut to crack. I'm trying to figure out.
It's a grape.
It's the size of a nut, though. I'm trying to figure it out. I really like it. I've been drinking the crap out of it this latest vintage.
So aggressive.
But I'm still trying to figure out what the right I still have a few tweaks to do. I feel like in our winemaking to have its very best expression that it can here. Traditionally, I love them. I mean, Piedmont, all the Piedmont wines are so clean and so amazing, and I'm like, oh man, But that's where I first fell in love with it. But this has some of that same kind of meaty. Over there, you'd call it bacon. Over here, it's more of like.
I smell bacon like crazy. I was going to talk about the meat in the wine, which of course these are just stereoisomers. It is not things that are added.
Don't put your meat in the wine.
Oh no! And here we go. But you definitely, I would say that yours shows all the same expressions. Barbera is known for having real bright acidity, which is one of the trickier reds, right? Where you have those red wine grapes that when you make them into wine, they have this intense, strong acid that can blow the rest of the profile out of the water, and they lose it. Mm-hmm. I think it takes artistry to show this kind of balance where you also get that meaty kind of factor. So if you're getting prosciutto is another really common one.
Salami.
I'm trying, you guys. I'm trying.
You get some salami sometimes?
Sometimes, not enough. But so, you're also getting some nice developed fruit. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it could come across a little too tart. Mm-hmm. Right? Unripe fruit, just the acidity. Yeah. And I think this is a beautiful wine. And then, of course, we love to tell the story every time.
Oh, yeah.
About sending it out when we were a new winery and one of our first wine club shipments, and we took everything so seriously. And Jesse
we didn't have any confidence.
And Jesse wrote an amazing newsletter expressing his excitement about the Barbera wine and how it went incredibly well with cured meats such as prosciutto, only Spellcheck changed that to prostitute. So he told everybody that it went wonderful with cured meat, such as prostitute. We normally, I mean, that would be the end, and you'd just be horrified that you put that out to all your wine club members.
But we got contacted.
Yeah, and by the most amazing elderly gentleman who shared that he was in his 80s, and he quite enjoyed the wine. However, he had a hard time finding a proper pairing, and
so he dressed his wife up. He said it was
like
amazing.
A prostitute, and in fact, it went very well with her as well. So I love the that he thought to write into us and share just the hilarious element of we make mistakes, and that's part of the joy of the newsletter.
Yeah.
Is that it's not polished.
It's like this, you know.
It's a story.
We're talking, you know, we don't hire 30 editors to like go over it a million times to make sure it's, I mean, you know, we try even more now. Now we've got a little more time, so we try a little harder to make sure we double check.
But you're getting a real honest story from the winemaker.
Exactly.
And Jesse and Chris take turns, and it sounds so authentically them. Unless Jesse makes me finish it. Which is last one was like, and now Michelle will tell you some stuff. And I was like, oh, I guess I'm writing part of this. It's very funny.
I was in a hurry or something, trying to blank. I don't know. It's the first time I've done it in like 15 years. I don't know. How long? We've had a wine club for 15 years. Is that right?
I think it's longer than that.
We've been open for 18 years, 17 years. 03, 2002, yeah. Almost,
we started a wine club immediately, so...
Pretty close, 04, 05, so yeah.
Okay.
In 15, 16 years, I've only done that once.
Needless to say, welcome back to the show. We're going to see you next week, and as you requested, you want us tasting a bunch of different stuff. So we're going to be doing a whiskey tasting.
What?
Yeah, so you are going to be mostly our host because I don't like whiskey. So
she's not a whiskey.
It should be interesting.
Do we know which kind of whiskeys? Are we doing like one of each of the 4 major whiskeys, or what are we doing?
You tell me, honey.
Yeah, it's going to require a little homework, possibly. Ay.
It's going to be good. A lot of people, some of their favorite episodes were when we were in Mexico and we were tasting the mezcal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
People
right.
thought that was really fun. If you want to see that episode, check out our YouTube channel. We have all of our episodes on there, and that is a fun one because I could barely keep it down.
Yeah, it's probably November, December of last year, I bet, of 2020.
Oof, gosh,
Somewhere in
I
there.
don't know. Anyway, so whiskey next week. Mark your calendars.
Okay.
And buy a bottle. You plant a tree.
Exactly.
And we are over 30,000 trees that we have planted because you keep buying bottles. We keep planting trees. Thank you so much. You're making a huge impact. Anything else?
No, that's it.
All
Thank
right,
you guys. Thank you to Ray and Annette, and
Yes.
thank you to all you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers.